Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. You can watch this program on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's Radyo Pilipinas World Service. And you can hear this broadcast on our audio streaming through PBS Evox receiver app. Also on our shortwave broadcast through following frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Let's begin Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Recently, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has called for cooperation among various sectors to address the broadband access challenges confronting geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, or GIDAs, in the country. The chief executive said while urban centers enjoy high-speed and reliable internet service, many rural and remote areas continue to face connectivity challenges. These connectivity gaps affect real lives, limit access to education, constrain economic opportunity, and slow national progress, the president said, noting that delay in permits, right-of-way restrictions, fiber cuts, and power interruptions widen the divide. And the government, through the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, is carrying out reforms to make internet services cheaper and faster. So what entails or what's included in the reforms to make the internet service cheaper and faster here in the country? And what's the programs and projects of the DICT to connect the unconnected areas in the far-flung provinces and areas here in the Philippines? To explain that, we now have on the line and we are honored to introduce him in the program, the Secretary of the Information and Communications Technology, Secretary Henry Aguda. Good morning, Secretary Aguda. Thank you so much for joining us in the program Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is Jerome Toledo.
Magandang good morning, Jerome, at saka sa mga nakikinig sa iyo. Unang-una, pagpasensyahan nyo na kung medyo maingay kasi pagka Biyernes ng umaga, nag-iikot po ako sa city para ma-check ko yung mga signal ba. Iba na kasi yung ako na mismo yung makaranas. Ngayon naman, mukhang okay lang ba yung pasok ko?
Yes, loud and clear po, Secretary Aguda. Yeah, all right, that's great. Okay, so let's start this discussion for today. So President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. gave a very clear directive early on to connect the unconnected. So what are the programs and initiatives and projects of the Department of Information and Communications Technology to achieve this, Secretary?
Yan. So, tama yan, Jerome, no? Paulit-ulit sinasabi ni Pangulo pag nakikita ako, dapat walang Pilipino na magre-reklamo na naka-offline sila. So, unang-una dyan, yung free wifi. Yung free wifi, hindi lang mura yan, libre yan. At tumutupad lang po tayo sa batas na kailangan maglagay ng free wifi sa mga public places. And ika yan, tinutulak na po namin yan. Ngayon po, sisimulan namin tapusin lahat ng mga DepEd schools. Dapat lahat connected. Tapos, within the year, mag-move na kami sa mga barangay. Tapos, susunod namin mga health center. And then, kamakailan, nakita nyo yung mga busway at MRT.
Yeah.
So, isa yan sa mga programa, yung free wifi. Second, yung national fiber broadband naman. Yan naman, tinatapos natin para umabot yung connectivity na mabilis sa Mindanao. Tapos na po yung Luzon, tapos na yung Visayas, Mindanao na yung susunod. Tapos, yung tinulak ni Presidente na SIM ng bayan. namimigay po tayo ng SIM dun sa mga GIDA areas, yung mga talagang nasa liblib na lugar para magkaroon sila ng free mobile service din. So
Okay.
yan po, lahat yan ginagawa natin sa pag-utos po ng Pangulo.
All right. Okay. So you mentioned about the free Wi-Fi in public places, and also you have started to implement reforms in public schools, and then the next in line is in barangays, and then in some other areas in the geographically isolated areas here in the country. And also you mentioned about the national fiber broadband program that you implemented, and also the Bayanihan SIM cards that is exclusively available to our students in far-flung areas, Secretary Aguda.
Oo, tama. Lahat yan. At syempre, lahat naman kasi yan, simula pa lang. So, connectivity ka muna. Pag meron ka ng connectivity, magagamit mo na yung eGov Super App. Yung eGov Super App naman, hindi ka na kailangan pumila sa mga government agencies para kumuha ng EDULA, driver's license, scheduling sa yakap, yan. So, tapos, pag maganda na yung connectivity mo, pwede na rin tayong pumunta dun sa mas malawak na pagpapalaganap ng AI. Eh, yan namang AI na yan, hindi lang sa nakakatulong sa atin. Isa yan sa mga potential na magdagdag na trabaho sa Pilipinas.
Okay, so Secretary Aguda, since you are planning to connect the Filipinos in the entire across the country, and then at the same time, once we achieve this, we can use the eGov super app so that the Filipinos can easily access government transactions and conduct online transactions there, so that they can easily access government services. And at the same time, that falls under the ease of doing business for this one, Secretary Aguda.
Oo, alam mo, hindi lang ease of doing business yan. Better government service to individuals. Kasi sa panahon nga ng mga bagyo, sa panahon ng mga sakuna, maganda may cellphone ka rin. Dahil dyan mo rin makikita kung saan yung mga evacuation center. So hindi lang ease of doing business, pati yung kaligtasan mo, nandiyan na rin.
Okay, that's great. So, security features or disaster or being prepared for disasters is included there in the app. Okay, so jumping for this one, since we're talking about the eGov Super App, so how is the DICT ensuring that the digital space is safe and secured for the millions of Filipinos now using, for instance, e-wallets and also online government services? As we know, hacking is still prevalent, and also phishing is prevalent as well. So how is DICT ensuring that?
Yun. So, Jerome, laking bagay yan, di ba? Sabi ko nga kay Presidente, ano ang pakinabang natin sa isang highway na maraming road hazards? Diba? Maraming lubak, tapos pwede ka ma-aksidente, may nag-overspeed. So, yun ang ginagawa naman namin ng CICC naman at saka NTC. Inilinis namin yung mga threat actor baga. So, yan, yung mga financial scam, yung mga OSAEC, yung online sexual exploitation and abuse of children. Alam mo, kamakailan, kahapon, nakausap ko yung leadership ng Meta, yung nagpapatakbo ng Facebook. Nangako sila sa akin. Sabi ko sa kanila, kapag may nakita pa akong OSAEC problem, financial scam, at saka yung pang-deepfake, dinidepfake yung mga tao, baka magka-problema na sila. Di ba? Yung tulad ng ginawa namin kay Grok, si Grok, isang AI yan na blinak namin kasi bigla namin nakita may mga OSAIC violation, may mga bata na na-abuse. Inap din naman namin after 3 days na nag-comply sila. So nung nakita ni Facebook yan, sabi nila, ay, seryoso ba pala? Sabi ko, oo naman. So si Facebook na ako na sa akin kahapon, remains to be seen nga lang. So kami, binabantayan namin yung compliance nila. Si Google at saka si YouTube, mamaya ako naman kausap. Tingin ko naman, tutupad din sila. So yung sagot dun sa paano namin tatanggalin yung mga phishing, online scam, etc., nagsisimula po sa platforms yan eh. Yung mga platform, either, sabi ko nga sa kanila, mauubos yung resources ko at ng mga tao ko kapapantay sa inyo, mas gugustuhin ko pa magkapit na lang ako ng wifi dahil mas gusto ko kayo maglinis ng sarili nyong mga platform. Dahil sila naman dapat yun di ba? Kasi pinagkakakitaan nila yan.
Right.
Alam mo ba na sa bawat 100 views po, para malaman po ng mga nakikinig, sa bawat 100 views, kasi kumikita ang Facebook sa mga ads,
Right.
yan ay nakatranslate sa 10 pisong kita nila.
Okay. All right. So, right, that's right. And also, I would like to ask before we jump to the next question. So, can you clarify how or how DICT can ask these social media companies, particularly this one, Meta, to comply with the orders of the DICT to take down all of the OSAIC related materials?
Alam mo naman, in fairness to them, marami rin sila tinetake down. Pinakita na sa akin yung report. Mga 90% proactive yun ang tinetake down. Yung 10% sa akin, hindi pa rin acceptable yun. Sabi ko yung 10%, pwede mo bang sabihin, isa sa 10 bata na na-abuse? Hindi pwede yun. Dapat walang na-abuse. So, yun ang pinaglalaban natin na 100% dapat na malinis ang isang platform. Now, sino yung tumutulong sa atin para masiguradong tumigil yan? Kasama ko na po dyan yung mga heavy guns natin. Si Solicitor General mismo at si Secretary ng DOJ. Tatlo po kami sama-sama, sabi namin, kahit ang international court natin dalhin yung mga yan. Alam nila yan, sinabihan ko ang mga platform. Sabi namin, kung hindi kayo susunod sa batas sa Pilipinas, dadalhin namin kayo sa UN. Kasi sa UN po,
Alright.
mayroong tribunal dyan on abuse of children.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's one of the options. I wonder before before I jump to to this question regarding the affordability of data, but recently Australia recently, and also Spain recently filed a measure or implemented a measure to ban social media for teenagers. So would the Philippines do the same or follow suit?
Yan yung tinatawag natin na age-based social media accreditation ng mga tao, di ba?
Yeah.
Pinag-usapan na yan ng Senado at saka ng Kongreso. Tapos nung early this week, mga Tuesday ata, nag-enact na yan. And sama-sama po ang Kongreso, ang House at ang Senate at ang Presidente po. Nandun si Speaker at saka nandun si Senate President. Nag-present po sila kay Presidente natin and nag-agree sila. Isa yan sa mga i-review na polisiya. Kasi nga, tignan mo to Jerome. Pag manonood ka ng TV, broadcast, yung dating kinalakihan natin,
Right.
hindi ka pwede makapanood doon ng hindi angkop sa bata.
Agree.
Nagkakaroon siya ng rating, di ba?
Yeah, that's right.
Parental guidance. Bakit sa social media na mas laganap at mas personal ang interaction? Walang ganon. So, inaaral na yan. And tingin ko, hindi matatapos ang taon, magkakaroon ng linaw yung regulasyon dyan.
Okay, so and we hope this measure will prosper in the next coming days, weeks, or months, and this is a wait and see development. Okay, so jumping to this question, Secretary Aguda. So many Filipinos still find data and monthly subscriptions a heavy burden on their budget. So, what specific reforms have been implemented to bring down the cost of internet connectivity? So, does this include allowing new players or technologies in the telecommunications industry?
Oo. So, dahil dyan sa Konektadong Pinoy, yung Konektadong Pinoy, siyempre, yung mga negosyante, pag mahal yung pagnenegosyo nila, sisingil sila ng mas mahal. So, si Konektadong Pinoy, ginagawang mas mura ang mag-provide ng internet service. Ang deal naman natin sa mga telco, luma at bagong telco, yung ginawa ng gobyerno na papapain ang cost of doing business dito, i-translate nyo naman sa consumer savings. So, last year, in 2025, yung malalaking telco, pangalanan ko na po at acknowledge naman natin, si Globe, si PLDT, si Smart, si Converge, at saka si Tito. On the average po, minomonitor namin nagbaba ng mga 17% yung per megabyte cost nila. Now, enough na ba yan? Baka hindi pa. Baka ang sinasabi ko nga, mag-shoot tayo for about 50 to 60%. Kasi pag bumaba na ganun kababa, number 1, number 2 na tayo sa affordability in ASEAN. Yun ang tinatarget natin. Ngayon kasi number 6 pa lang eh.
Okay. And we aim to make it more affordable then, or even more affordable.
Oo, tama. Tama yan.
Okay. So, and also we often hear, as we mentioned earlier, the ease of doing business. So how does the DICT simplify the process for telcos, or I think this is applicable to new players, to build more towers and lay more cables, and how does this translate to faster speeds, Secretary?
Oo. So ngayon, di na nila kailangan ng prangkisa. Para kumuha ka ng prangkisa, dadaan ka sa
Congress,
Kongreso, di ba?
Yes.
Ako naman, bumibilit po ako sa Congress. Sinabi nila, kung makakabagal kami sa proseso, tanggalin nyo na kami sa proseso. So, credit to our House of Representatives. Tinanggal nila yung franchise requirement. So, malaking bagay po yun. Second, kami ni Presidente, yung paggawa po ng tower kasi, every 5 years, nagre-request ng lisensya yung mga tower company. Every 5 years, mag-re-apply ka. Sa amin, hindi. Ginawa namin 15. Tapos pagdating ng 15 years, basta nagtatayo ka ng tore, nagkakalakan ka ng maayos, automatic at 10 to 15 years, auto-renew ka. Marami po kaming ginawa na bagay na pag pinagsama-sama mo yan, ay malaki yung ibababa ng gastusin ng mga telecoms provider bago at saka yung mga dati nang nandyan.
That's right, and also it doesn't happen overnight, Secretary Aguda. So this is a phase by phase, and also step by step procedure to achieve this internet connectivity, which is faster and affordable. Okay, before I let you go, I think you're on the road right now, Secretary Aguda. But I would like to ask this your reaction rather on the anti-fake news and disinformation bill that is being included in the one of the priorities under the legislative executive development advisory council, or LEDAC. They included that as one of the priority bills. What's the ICT reaction on this, and how does the ICT look into this?
Nako, suportado po namin yan. Nandun siya sa 21 or 22 priority. Mahaba po yun.
Yeah.
Kasama yan. Kasi nga, napatunayan na, yan deepfake, fake news, tumataas po ang suicide instances po. Nagkakaroon po ng problema sa Alzheimer yung mga tao pag ganyan. At saka yung hindi ramdam ng mga tao, tapos late mo na lang mararamdaman. Yung tinatawag na rage bait. Rage bait, ibig sabihin, pinagagalit mo yung mga tao. Madami na po tayong nakita dahil sa fake news na nag-aaway mga pamilya at saka magkakaibigan. Yung pala, fake lang yung news na yun.
Right.
Yun po yung tinutulungan talaga natin matanggal. And nag-attend din po ako ng hearing kay Senator Padilla at saka Senator Tulfo. Nag-manifest po kami ng full support dun sa bill na pinapangkas po nila.
Okay. And also, again, Secretary Aguda, so this one is social media companies are involved in this particular measures of the LEDAC bill. Secretary Aguda?
Yes, tama. And acknowledge ko naman sila, no? Medyo naintindihan ko malaking negosyo sa kanila yan, yung mga social media platform. Pero nakikipag-usap naman po sila sa atin. At nangangako sila na magbabagong buhay na. Tatanggalin na nila yung mga negative activities. At hindi lang po hindi lang po fake news kasi not just fake news. Ang fake news po kasi parang krimen yan eh.
Okay.
Fake news muna, tapos magiging financial scam, tapos pupunta yan sa sexual abuse, tapos madami pong pinupuntahan yan eh. Para bang pagka meron kang environment na lahat ng mga tao nagsisinungaling na, may
Mm-mm.
pagnanakaw na ang susunod dyan. Kaya kailangan bantayan po natin yan. Ayaw natin ng kultura na ang fake news naman kasi kasinungalingan. Ayaw natin ng kultura na yung kasinungalingan uudsbong pa na maging pagnanakaw. Diba? Yun ang problema natin.
Right. So it's everyone is involved in this one, and it's the responsibility of everyone, not just the government, not just the private sector, but to ourselves.
Sila po. Oo. Jerome, boss? Idadagdag ko lang. Kami, isang taon na kami nagpo-consultation dyan. 7 out of 10 Filipino ayaw na nila ng fake news. Tama na. Ayaw na nila. Majority na ng mga kababayan natin, pagka ganyan naman yung sinasabi na ng mga kababayan natin, kailangan na kami umakto, di ba?
Right. Okay. All right. So this is a wait and see development if the anti-fake news bill will push through in the Congress, in also, and it will be signed by eventually and hopefully by President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. And with that, thank you so much, Secretary Henry Aguda, of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, for joining us in the program this morning. Thank you and have a good day.
Maraming salamat, Jerome, at happy Valentine's sa iyo at sa lahat ng mga nakikinig po.
You too, and happy Valentine's Day. And that was Secretary Henry Aguda of the Department of Information and Communications Technology, as we discuss about the internet connectivity issue, as well as the measures of the DICT to combat fake news, and also the legislative agenda included that pertains to the anti-fake news bill. And let's jump now to event of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. as he led the inspection and also the groundbreaking of Metro Manila subway that's in Mandaluyong City. Let's watch and listen.
Mula sa Presidential Communications Office at Radyo Pilipinas, ito ang Presidential Live Event. Presidential Live Event.
Thank you to our Transportation Secretary, Giovanni Lopez. Please be seated. His Excellency, the Japanese Ambassador to the Philippines, His Excellency Ambassador Endo Kazuya, who always has me as a disadvantage because his Tagalog is much, much better than my Japanese. Senator J.B. Ejercito, who has joined us this morning, the members of the House of Representatives, Basis Conversion and Development Authority President and CEO Engineer Joshua Bincag, Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA Chief Representative Takashi Baba, Taguig City Mayor Maria Larni Cayetano, our partners from the private sector, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today, we proved to the world something we once thought would be impossible, a subway in Metro Manila. I join with you in our optimism and excitement as we gather here for the groundbreaking of the Kalayaan Avenue and Bonifacio Global City, or BGC stations. This segment will link the Shaw Boulevard station, which we just came from and we inspected, and I'm happy to report that the progress is proceeding and the work is proceeding, and we are very much on schedule. In fact, we are from the original timetable. We have accelerated the process, and we are moving even more quickly than that. But this segment now will link Shaw Boulevard Station in Pasig to the Lawton Avenue Station in Taguig. Earlier today, we inspected Shaw Boulevard. The progress that we've witnessed there and in all of this project demonstrate that implementation is fully and actively underway. The station in BGC is projected to the stations because there are three of them, four. The three stations in BGC are projected to serve no less than 200,000 passengers per day in its opening year. This means workers arriving on time, students getting home earlier, and our citizens regaining hours that we once lost to congestion. Once the entire 33-kilometer stretch of the Metro Manila subway system is fully operational, the travel time from Valenzuela to BGC will be reduced from 1.5 hours to just 29 minutes. This will also significantly improve airport connectivity. From Quezon City to Manila Airport, the travel time will be shortened from more than 1 hour to 35 minutes. More importantly, planned railway interconnections will allow seamless transfers at key stations. At North Avenue, the subway will connect to LRT1, MRT3, and MRT7. At the Anona station, it will connect to LRT2. At the Ortigas station, it will link with the proposed MRT4. The subway is also designed for interoperability with the North-South Commuter Railway, strengthening Metro Manila's connectivity to all the nearby provinces. This is the scale of transformation that we are building. And this brings us closer to a fully connected subway that will redefine mobility in our nation's capital. It also brings us closer towards restoring dignity to daily travel and reaffirming our confidence in what we can achieve as a nation. For decades, traffic in Metro Manila has been more than an inconvenience. It has been a constant consideration affecting our daily decisions. It influences where we work, where we study, and how we plan our lives. Some students hesitate to enroll in their dream school because the commute will take 2 hours or more one way. Others decline promising job offers because the cost of commuting to work will outweigh the salary and mean less time for family. And this is not the kind of future that we want for our kababayans. And that is why this administration is determined to address these problems by providing sustainable, long-term solutions. This subway is one of those solutions. This project is part of a broader effort to improve our public transport system. Because in that regard, we have this year released more than 49 billion pesos for the railway sector under the DOTR. We continue enhancement works in key stations, including the MRT3 Quezon Avenue station, to improve passenger flow and accessibility for senior citizens and persons with disabilities. To help our commuters save on expenses and make daily travel more convenient, we issued discounted beep cards and implemented cashless payments in MRT3. We have also made free Wi-Fi available in all of its stations, as well as in several EDSA busway stations to ensure greater comfort and connectivity for our passengers. The Love Bus Libreng Sakay program continues to operate in Metro Manila, in Cebu, and in Davao. All these we do because we want future generations to no longer worry about traffic and distance when they make their life choices. At this juncture, I wish to recognize the BCDA and Mega World Corporation for granting the DOTR a perpetual easement of right-of-way for the construction of these stations. Thank you for your help and assistance. Because this means that this project begins constructions with 100% of the required right-of-way already secured. And anyone familiar with this kind of transport project, large-scale transport projects, will know and will remember that it is the right-of-way that is the hardest part of that project. And this, again, is an example of what we can achieve when we take on, as our full partners in development, the private sector, and work together work together well to gain this kind of success. I also wish to express, of course, our deepest appreciation to the government of Japan and to JICA for their continuing steadfast support, which we have enjoyed over many decades. With the scale and complexity of this project, we are exercising careful oversight and close coordination amongst all the implementing agencies and all our partners. We remain committed to sustain the momentum and to ensure that this project proceeds with discipline, transparency, and accountability. Certainly, this project will outlast this administration, but its benefits and impact will endure, serving generations of Filipinos yet to come. Ladies and gentlemen, a subway beneath our city also serves as a foundation for a greater nation above it. Let us continue this work with genuine commitment to improving the everyday lives of every single Filipino. Panahon na upang matudukan ang dekadang paghihirap ng ating mga commuter. Hangad natin ang ligtas, mabilis at komportableng biyahe dahil ang oras ng bawat Pilipino ay mahalaga at bawat minutong matitipid ay oras na may Google ninyo kasama ang inyong mga pamilya. Thank you very much. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyo lahat.
Thank you, Mr.
And you just heard and watched the speech of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. as he led the groundbreaking ceremony of the Metro Manila Subway Project, Kalayaan Avenue and BGC stations in Taguig City. We have to correct the statement we just mentioned earlier a while ago. So that's not in Mandaluyong City, but in Taguig City. And from the Shaw Boulevard station in Pasig City, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. proceeds to Taguig City for the groundbreaking of the Metro Manila Subway Project's 2 underground station today, February 13, 2026. So that's the BGC station and the Kalayaan Avenue station. And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. receives a project briefing before leading the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kalayaan Avenue and BGC stations. And a sick barrel breaking ceremony symbolizing goodwill, unity, and the auspicious start of the project follows the groundbreaking event. And also for the technicals, the CP-105 will use the tunnel boring machine or TBM to build tunnels and employ the cut and cover method for the station. And the project duration is approximately 67 months or 5 years and 7 months from the commencement of works. And the Metro Manila Subway Project is or will be the Philippines' first subway system spanning 33.1 kilometers. With 17 stations, it will run from Valenzuela City all the way to Parañaque City, ending at Bicutan in Taguig City, with a connection to Ninoy Aquino International Airport, Terminal 3 in Pasay City. And the project is financed by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, under a loan agreement. And once fully operational, the subway project is expected to serve approximately 500,000 passengers daily and will have an end-to-end travel time of about 46 minutes. And you just witnessed the speech of President Marcos Jr. as he led the groundbreaking ceremony there of 2 subway stations, possible subway stations in Taguig City. And with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Together with our technical team headed by Mr. Milo Janela, on Wirecast, Hero Lucero, and audio streaming Win Peñano. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.